This young man was celebrating his own birthday with his family, when suddenly something fell through the house, causing his parents and younger sister to die on the spot. The space around suddenly transformed horribly, the sky turned crimson, the stench of blood filled the air, the building shook violently. The bodies of his parents and younger sister were thrown off the 26th floor, while Yi Hao could only scream in despair before a giant monster's arm pierced through the building. A gigantic monster appeared right before his eyes, making him feel powerless and scream out loud. He woke up in the classroom, realizing it was a nightmare. However, the dream was so realistic that it left him trembling. He was a top student in a world that was far from ordinary. In the year 2036, the Earth underwent a mutation that led to demonic beasts spreading everywhere. Along with that, humans could also level up and evolve to adapt to the crisis. Although he was a top student, intelligent and kind, he was one of the rare cases who could not level up, waste, in the era of the strong. After class, Yi Hao was stopped by Luo Feng's group demanding a protection fee. Even though he had once helped Luo Feng before, now that guy turned on him, beating and mocking him as a level 3 waste who can't ascend. At that moment, Yi Yunfei, his younger sister, appeared. She flew in and kicked Luo Feng straight in the face, sending him flying hundreds of meters away. She was a 16-year-old girl but had already reached level 7, regarded as a genius of the academy. Though comforted, Yi Hao still felt pain and shame, blaming himself for being useless. He resolved not to give up, believing there would be a way to overcome his limits. Then the two went home together. That night, during the birthday dinner, the scene from his dreams seemed to repeat. To change fate, Yi Hao invited his whole family to eat hot pot at another restaurant, deliberately avoiding the scene from the dream. Everything seemed fine, but when the family returned, a spatial crack suddenly appeared. From it, a giant spider, a level 15 demonic beast, crawled out, spreading death within the human safe zone. Yi Hao's father did not hesitate to rush forward. His mouth did not forget to remind the two siblings to protect their mother. Although he was only level 10, even if it cost his life, he had to hold the monster back so that his wife and children could escape. But the difference in strength between a level 10 martial artist and a level 15 demonic beast was like heaven and earth. Yi Hao's father was quickly hit by the spider's venom. After a few more attacks, he fell unconscious. Instead of pulling her two children to run away, the mother chose to rush in to die together. In fact, she was just rushing in to give up her life, not to die together. It made no sense, it was absurd. The demon-eyed beast didn't even bother to glance at her, it only wanted to tear apart the prey before it and savor the taste of a level 10 martial artist. Just as the spider was about to deliver the finishing blow, two arrows suddenly shot straight into its body. It turned out the archer was the younger sister. Instead of running away with her brother, she wanted to follow their mother's example. Provoked, the demon-eyed beast immediately turned to attack. She turned and urged Yi Hao to take their parents and escape. But at that moment, Yi Hao was so terrified he froze in place. The nightmare he had just experienced had truly become reality. He didn't know what to do. A level 3 martial artist like him facing a level 15 demonic beast was no different from a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Soon, Yi Yunfei was also struck by the venom. She fell flat on the ground, screaming in pain. The monster seemed to lose interest in its old prey and shifted its focus to the young girl's body. Badly wounded and unable to move, Yi Yunfei could only watch as the spider's sharp leg came down, ready to pierce through her body. However, that attack never touched her. At the final moment, Yi Hao rushed forward, blocking the spider's leg with his bare hand. He urged her to run before things got worse. But soon he was crushed by the spider, turned into a bloody mess. Witnessing the horrific scene, Yi Yunfei cried without a sound. With the last of his strength, Yi Hao still tried to warn his sister. "Don't worry about me, go now." He could feel every fiber of his flesh being torn apart by the monster, but that physical pain was nothing compared to the heartbreak within him. If I were strong enough, this tragedy would never have happened. Why am I so weak? Why can't I level up? His blood dropped rapidly, only 1% remained. He refused to die like this. It seemed Yihao's desperate plea was answered. At the moment he was about to pass out, mechanical, beep. Beep sounds echoed. A series of system windows appeared before his eyes. The host's accumulated experience has reached the standard. The royal account system has been activated. But Yihao had already fallen unconscious, no longer hearing or seeing anything. The host cannot act independently. The system will perform a random selection. Successfully selected royal account, Qi Yan Emperor. At this moment, Yi Yunfei had no idea about her brother's fortune. She was still running with all her might. But the demon-eyed beast arrogantly appeared again, blocking the only exit. Was her brother's sacrifice only worth this much time? Yi Yunfei fell into despair. Since she couldn't escape, she decided to fight to the death. But just as she charged toward the monster, Yihao's familiar voice suddenly echoed from behind. Get out of the way. By instinct, Yi Yunfei immediately dodged to the side. Right after that, a dazzling beam of light shot past her. And at the center of that beam of light was her brother, the one she thought was dead. The blazing flames engulfed Yihao's entire body. His younger sister behind him stood with her mouth agape in shock. In front of him, the demon-eyed beast had just taken a full blow but quickly regained its momentum. Being provoked by a level 3 martial artist, its fury burned even stronger. Yihao did not flinch. The flame shadow sword appeared in his hand, its blade shining with blinding fire. He charged forward with lightning speed that street racers could only dream of. Immediately after, the monster's scream echoed, tearing through space. The spider took the slash head-on, its syrup splattering everywhere, and it cried out in panic, "No, you're clearly just a level 3 martial artist. Ah, how can you possess such immense power?" The attack had injured the beast, but the price Yihao paid was not small either. He felt as if his body was about to shatter, every fiber of his flesh screaming under the pressure of the mysterious power that had just erupted. This energy had far surpassed the limit a level 3 martial artist could endure. Seeing Yihao cough up large pools of blood, the monster immediately regained its confidence. TSK, only 3 seconds of combat power. Weak humans. Forcing explosive strength from a level 3 martial artist's body without me doing anything, you'll explode and die on your own. The opponent wasn't exaggerating. Yihao's health bar was already empty, replaced by a yellow energy gauge that was steadily dropping by the second. If it ran out before he defeated the demon-eyed beast, he would truly die. Realizing Yihao's body was about to self-destruct, the monster lost all interest in fighting. The celestial beast lord finally helped me open the teleportation gate of the safe zone. I must hurry and swallow a few high-level martial artists. Trash like you can just stay here and die. Of course, Yihao couldn't let it leave so easily. He immediately used the 13th form of the breath of the sun blazing infernal prison, creating a ring of fire to block the beast's path. The demon-eyed beast turned back. Facing Yihao's furious gaze, it couldn't help but shiver. How could a level 3 martial artist possess eyes filled with such overwhelming pressure? At that moment, hurried footsteps echoed from behind. Report, the rescue squad has arrived, victims located, commencing aid, target identified level 15 demonic beast, the demon-eyed beast. The rescue martial squad had arrived, but the situation grew even worse. Yihao urgently warned them, for with their strength, they were no match for the beast. However, no one paid attention to a level 3 martial artist's words. They even mocked him as a delusional brat. Get out of the way, don't stand there getting in our way. They pushed Yi Hao aside and quickly formed a formation, surrounding the demon-eyed beast. Though of lower rank, they were confident in their numbers. Moreover, after the battle with Yi Hao, the beast's health bar was only 30%. But they were too naive. Before they could attack, spider threads burst from the ground, binding them tightly. Their weapons became useless, and their plan of many versus one completely collapsed. Just like that, one by one, the members of the rescue team were devoured by the demon-eyed beast. After absorbing the entire group of martial artists, it leveled up 3 times in a row, becoming a level 18 demonic beast. The spider charged toward Yi Hao, determined to finish him. Its strength was now on a completely different level. Demonic beasts were difficult to evolve, but each breakthrough was an earth-shattering leap. It decided to toy with Yi Hao in its grasp, waiting until he was barely breathing before eating him. The beast's sudden surge of power made it harder and harder for Yi Hao to resist, while the mysterious energy inside his body was nearly depleted. Seeing him falter, the spider laughed gleefully. "Huh, weren't you so fierce just now? Why can't you even fight back anymore? Trash will always be trash, isn't that right?" Yi Hao was sent flying again, his consciousness fading. At that moment, when his life force dropped below 10%, the system automatically activated the ultimate finishing skill, Crimson Flame Tempest. Yi Hao struggled to stand. It had been 3 years. He had been mocked countless times for being unable to level up. Today, he would show them how powerful the so-called trash could be. Crimson Flame Tempest was unleashed. As an ultimate skill, its power was terrifyingly immense. The spider was immediately engulfed in a massive inferno cyclone. Its screams of agony seemed to tear the very sky apart. The blazing flames clung tenaciously to the demon-eyed beast, impossible to extinguish. It quickly realized this was no ordinary fire, but one that contained the Tao resonance of an Emperor Realm powerhouse. Despite its fierce resistance, the spider-shaped beast ultimately still perished under Yi Hao's hand. In its final moments, it cried out in despair for some celestial beast lord, but it was useless. Immediately after, the system's notification board appeared. Yi Hao had defeated the demon-eyed beast, receiving 20,000 experience points along with several other items. Exhausted, he collapsed the instant he exited the state of the Qi Yan Emperor. With the last trace of consciousness, Yi Hao crawled along the ground, trying to collect the spoils of battle. He could not let the fruits of his life and death struggle fall into someone else's hands. Before blacking out, he managed to stash 15,000 gold coins, a rare grade level 15 demon core, a lucky realm ring, 5 venomous spider threads, and the corpse of the demon-eyed beast into his inventory. Because Yi Hao's injuries were too severe, the royal account system automatically used 10,000 experience points to heal him, leaving 10,000 remaining. The process occurred instantly. Although his health bar had recovered to 100%, he still remained unconscious. He didn't know how much time had passed when Yi Hao suddenly awoke. To find himself inside the system space. Ever since the Earth's mutation, every player had possessed a private space to manage attributes and items. Yi Hao had been used to his tiny one, but the space before his eyes now was vast like an endless galaxy. In the middle of that space stood the massive body of the Qi Yan Emperor, with a note beside it, maximum level. Being intelligent, Yi Hao immediately guessed this was the mysterious source of power he had just used. Right at that moment, the voice of the royal account system sounded again, "Welcome, host, to the royal account system." Within the system are countless royal ranked accounts from many games. The host can use personal experience to unlock each of these royal accounts. Because the host's accumulated experience has reached level 10, the random account Qi Yan Emperor has been automatically activated. In an instant, Yi Hao understood everything. Level 10. It seemed his 3 years of effort hadn't been in vain, it was just that all the experience had been forcibly absorbed by this system, keeping him stuck at level 3. And what about this maximum level Qi Yen Emperor account? If I can wield that power, wouldn't I soar in one step? Although the Qi Yen Emperor initially exists at maximum level, the host must still use personal experience points to increase the synchronization level with this royal account. The higher the synchronization, the more power of the royal account can be brought forth. Therefore, it is recommended that the host quickly gather more experience to raise synchronization. Yi Hao felt a bit deflated. Indeed, there is no free meal in this world. But using the Qi Yen Emperor's power to earn experience shouldn't be too difficult. However, brute force alone wasn't enough. This world contained countless known and unknown dungeons, strength alone could not solve every problem. He needed to quickly figure out how to optimize this system. He clicked into the Qi Yen Emperor account to view details. The system introduced it as a maximum level powerhouse from another realm, one who led his clan to unify the world with the power of Crimson Flame, became the supreme sovereign, and was honored by later generations as the Qi Yen Emperor. The powerhouse's level had reached the maximum, while the synchronization level with Yi Hao was 10. Attributes: Flame, Fire, and Darkness, Shadow. The weapon was the Flame Shadow Greatsword he had used earlier. Basic flame attribute skills were all at level 10, including Explosive Infernal Prison, Dark Flame True Fire, and Explosive Flame Dragon Bullet. Ultimate flame skills included Crimson Flame Tempest at level 10 and Deep Crimson Star still locked. All darkness attribute skills were also locked. Yi Hao stared at the skill board. Ever since Earth entered the OL era, mutual generation and counteraction between attributes had become extremely important. He immediately set his near-term goal: level up quickly, unlock as many accounts as possible, and create a Royal Legion with all attributes. Then he could counter any opponent. At this time, the system also notified him that he still had 10,000 experience points, which could be used to raise synchronization or unlock supportive skills. Yi Hao did not hesitate and chose the first option. Enhancing survivability and unlocking new accounts were top priorities, skills could come later. 10,000 experience points exchanged for 2 more levels. The synchronization level between him and the Qi Yen Emperor rose to 12. Yi Hao clearly felt a fresh current of energy flooding his body, as if his own attributes had just been enhanced. Eagerly, he opened his personal stats panel, but the result disappointed him. He was still the level 3 waste as before. It seemed this system did not raise his actual level. From now on, Yi Hao would have to live the life of a pig eating the tiger. Why does it require so much money? A girl's anxious voice suddenly rang out, pulling Yi Hao out of the system space. He jolted awake, realizing he was lying in a hospital. The voice belonged to his younger sister, Yi Yunfei, drifting in from outside the door. What shocked Yi Hao even more was his completely healed body. The system had not only restored his health but also mended every wound. Those 10,000 experience points were truly worth it. Outside, the argument continued. This time, he also heard his mother's voice. "Doctor, have you made a mistake? Why is the treatment fee so high? Even if we used advanced healing medicine, it shouldn't be this much." Yi Yunfei coughed harshly, sounding unbearably unwell. "Fei, don't agitate yourself, your injuries haven't healed yet." He quietly breathed a sigh of relief knowing his family was safe, but it seemed they were in trouble. He got out of bed and stepped out to take a look. It turned out Yi Yunfei was arguing with the doctor over a treatment bill of 500,000 yuan. The doctor explained that all 4 family members had been afflicted by the deadly venom of an elite demonic beast. To be completely cured, they would have to use specialized medicine over a long period. Of course, patients may choose to recover naturally, the doctor added. The result would be long-term weakness, but not life-threatening. However, that only applies to the 2 women. The two men in your family are not so fortunate. Without the medicine, your father will at most live another month, and you," he looked at Yi Hao, "won't survive a week." The doctor's words struck Yi Yunfei like a heavy blow. She cried while coughing violently from agitation. Her mother hurried to support her, comforting her that there was no need to worry about money, at worst they could sell the house. Yi Hao had heard the entire conversation. He stepped out and spoke resolutely. "There's no need to sell the house, it's our foundation. Father and mother worked half their lives to buy it, we can't sell it. I'll find a way to earn the treatment money as soon as possible." The doctor was astonished. Clearly, when he had been brought in, this youth had sustained fatal injuries and was diagnosed not to live a week without the medicine. Seeing her barefoot brother jump out of bed, Yi Yunfei became extremely worried. She wanted to speak, but a fit of coughing struck her, making her wounds ache even more. When Yi Hao approached, the doctor suddenly realized that all the deadly toxins in his body had completely vanished. Yi Hao, who had been the most severely injured and poisoned, could not possibly have recovered this quickly on his own. Now he not only seemed fine but looked perfectly healthy. Yi Hao didn't want to explain at length. The reason didn't matter as long as he no longer needed treatment. He turned to ask the doctor about the medical costs for his parents and younger sister. The number given was 300,000 yuan. It was an enormous amount, but Yi Hao confidently asserted that he could manage it. He asked the doctor for 1 hour to prepare the money. Though the doctor found it nearly impossible, he still agreed to give Yi Hao a bit more time. Yi Hao quickly left the hospital, his mind immediately calculating. He had always been frugal, yet even with all his savings combined with the spoils from slaying the demon-eyed beast, it was still not enough for 300,000. The fastest way now was to sell his equipment. The most valuable item in his inventory was the rare level 18 demon core dropped from the giant spider. Demon cores from beasts were the basic materials for crafting magic equipment. The higher the rank, the greater the value. However, taking it to an official auction would fetch a better price but require too much time, and he had only 1 hour. Moreover, auctions were rank restricted. As a level 3 martial artist, he had no qualification to participate. After some consideration, Yi Hao was left with only one option, the underground black market. It was an unrestricted area within safe zone number 9, where anyone could trade freely. Although prices there were secretly manipulated by major corporations and the situation was chaotic and dangerous, it was still the fastest place to make money. The old Yi Hao would never have dared to come here alone, but now things were different. As soon as he stepped through the black market's gate, 2 burly men blocked his path. Seeing the small, thin boy wrapped tightly from head to toe, they immediately scowled and drove him away aggressively. Yi Hao's voice turned cold. "I didn't come here to play. I came to sell something. Isn't your black market supposed to allow anyone to trade freely? If I dare come here, I must have something good. Step aside, I'm in a hurry." "Humph, what kind of good stuff could a brat like you possibly have? Get lost, kid, I don't have time to mess around." Just as Yi Hao thought he was about to get beaten, the door behind the 2 guards suddenly opened. A short old man stepped out, respectfully addressed by those around him as elderly. "This young man is right, our business runs for profit. As long as one has something good, anyone can trade. I wonder what fine item this young friend has. Would you show this old man and broaden my horizons?" Yi Hao sighed in relief. At last, someone reasonable. Without hesitation, he took out the level 18 demon core. The moment elderly saw it, his eyes lit up. He hurriedly ordered his subordinates to invite Yi Hao inside for detailed discussion. The heavy wooden doors opened, revealing a luxurious underground trading hall, completely different from the noisy, shabby night market Yi Hao had imagined. As he curiously glanced around, a drunken man suddenly grabbed him. Well, a level 3 brat daring to show up here. Isn't it milk time for you? Go home to your mom. Ha ha ha, you come here to sell stuff to buy milk, huh? Let me see what good item you've got there. They had barely finished mocking when Elder Lee's subordinates barged in, faces fierce. Back off. This is Elder Lee's guest. Are you tired of living? With that, the man led Yi Hao deeper inside. The drunkards watched and muttered, who does he think he is, throwing his weight around as a representative of the Huangjing Corporation. Elder Lee isn't any better. That kid's probably going to suffer today. Keep your voice down. You trying to get yourself killed? Yi Hao was completely unaware. He entered the VIP room, walking straight into the tiger's den. Elder Lee was already waiting, surrounded by dozens of strong bodyguards. Being an experienced trader, he got straight to the point. The moment Yi Hao sat down, Elder Lee began. The demon core in your hand is indeed a fine item, but after all, it's only level 18, so the price. Before he could finish, Yi Hao interrupted, starting off by cutting the price already. If we're doing business, let's be straightforward. Drop the tricks and show some sincerity. I may be a level 3 martial artist, but I'm not a 3-year-old child. I can tell the value of what I have. Just name a number. I'm in a hurry. Elder Lee suddenly burst out laughing. Haha, interesting. This little brother may not have a high level, but his aura is impressive. I'll be straightforward then. If it were an ordinary demon core, it would only be worth 1 or 2 rare ones like yours. I'll offer 100,000. This time, Yi Hao laughed. So much for being a respectable businessman. This old man really thought he was dealing with a 3-year-old. Just when Yi Hao had thought him courteous and reasonable, he turned out to be a cunning fraud. Even if black market prices were lower than official auction rates, this demon core should fetch at least 200,000. For a mere 100,000, he'd rather find someone else. Thinking so, Yi Hao stood up, intending to leave, but Elder Lee's 2 bodyguards immediately blocked his way. It seems you've misunderstood. Since you've already come here, whether you sell or not is no longer your decision. Besides, no one has ever refused to sell something that the Huangjing Corporation has taken interest in. Yi Hao couldn't gauge Elder Lee's level. He thought to himself, so they can't buy it, and now they plan to rob me. This is the black market. No one cares what happens here. He could escape using the royal account of the Qi Yan Emperor, but causing a scene wouldn't benefit him. He'd have to leave empty-handed. And right now, earning money for his family's treatment was his top priority. Seeing Yi Hao remain silent, Elder Lee pulled out a wad of money and threw it on the table. 100,000 is already a huge amount for a kid like you. Don't be greedy. His attitude made everything clear. Yi Hao decided he'd have to resolve this by force. There was no way he would sell the demon core at such a loss. But before he could act, the VIP room door suddenly burst open. A mocking voice rang out from behind the 2 guards. The mighty Huangjing Corporation bullying a level 3 kid? Truly disgraceful. Immediately after, a tall, burly man appeared, brushing aside the 2 guards with both hands as if swatting away noodles. Yet this giant was merely the bodyguard for a petite, beautiful young lady who stepped in right after. I heard there's something valuable here, so this young lady came to join the fun. It was Mo Kenny, a level 20 martial artist and the eldest daughter of the Han Mo Corporation. At the sight of her, Elder Lee unconsciously clenched his fists, forcing down his anger. Well, if it isn't Miss Mo herself. What brings you to such a messy place and even to snatch away this old man's deal? Mo Kenny clearly disliked the word snatch. The rule of fair trade, whoever offers the higher price wins, has existed in this black market for ages. Elder Lee, you're the one crying thief while being the thief yourself. Elder Lee stayed silent for a long moment. Yi Hao was puzzled. Mo Kenny. That name sounds familiar. Then she turned to Yi Hao and stated bluntly, the demon core in your hand, 300,000 yuan. The number made Elderly leap to his feet. That brat just shouted 200,000, and you're offering 300,000. What's your game? Oh, this young lady spends freely because she can. I'm not like your Huangjing Corporation, which even tries to rob a level 3 kid. Spending an extra 100,000 to humiliate your corporation is money well spent. Mo Kenny's words made Elder Lee's face turn red with fury. Knowing he couldn't win, he left in anger with his guards. Yi Hao quietly observed the whole scene. The rumors about the rivalry between the Huangjing and Han Mo corporations in Safe Zone Number 9 were indeed true. Seeing Mo Kenny spend so much, why not take advantage? He spoke up to promote himself. Thank you, beautiful lady. I still have a few other items. Would you be interested? Not interested. Mo Kenny replied instantly, her tone cold and distant, completely unlike before. You don't need to thank me. I only used this opportunity to humiliate the Huangjing Corporation. Your business has nothing to do with me, you just happen to appear in my line of sight. With that, Mo Kenny ordered her men to pay and left the demon core for them to handle. She couldn't care less, even if they threw it away. Watching her back, Yi Hao clicked his tongue silently. What an arrogant young lady. Still, she had helped him escape Elder Lee and solved his financial problem. That favor, he would never forget. With money in hand, Yi Hao rushed back to the hospital. At that time, his father's condition was worsening without the medicine. The attending doctor remained patiently waiting. But the greedy department head did not. I heard these broke peasants still haven't paid the medical fees. Why are they still here? He kicked open the ward door, shouting harshly. The doctor quickly explained, they've already paid the emergency fees, but the hospitalization cost is indeed too high. In response, the department head grabbed the doctor by the collar. What the hell are you doing? We run a hospital, not a charity. These worthless lives haven't paid for their medicine yet, get them out. The doctor pleaded for the Yi family to have more time. Their eldest son said he's gone to get the money. His reply was met with a vicious slap. To the department head, Yi Hao was just a high schooler, a level 3 martial artist. Where could he possibly get 300,000? The poor doctor trembled, unable to utter another word. Then the man turned toward the hospital bed, glaring at the oxygen-breathing father. This nutrient fluid is rare stuff. Even if you sold your parents, it wouldn't be worth this much, and you still want treatment. With that, he reached to yank off the oxygen mask. Yi Yunfei grabbed his arm desperately, begging, please, just give us a little more time. My brother is about to bring the money back. But the heartless department head didn't bother to listen. Bring the money? This is the only hospital in the entire safe zone, not a place for low-class people like you. No money, then go home and wait to die. As he spoke, he shoved Yi Yunfei aside violently, nearly knocking her to the floor. Just then, Yi Hao kicked the door open. His voice thundered, stop right there. The department head gritted his teeth in rage and lunged forward, grabbing Yi Hao by the collar. Damn brat, who the hell are you to break into a hospital room? Pay up now. Yi Hao answered with eyes as cold as a messenger from hell. Was it this hand you used to harm my family? He wasn't bluffing. Yi Hao instantly invoked the power of the Qi Yan Emperor, igniting the hand gripping his collar in flames. The flames on his hand couldn't be extinguished. The department head was terrified and bolted out of the room. The doctor turned anxiously. Yi Hao, what did you do to him? Why did his hands suddenly catch fire? Although he had the right to expel us, he raised his hand against my family that I cannot tolerate. Consider this a small punishment. Don't worry, I'll pay another 10,000 yuan as compensation for medical treatment. After speaking, Yi Hao looked at the doctor and sincerely praised his medical ethics. If everyone were like him, patients would have so much less to suffer. Hearing that, the doctor let out a sigh of relief. That department head had it coming, he thought. Always flaunting his power as the dean's nephew, acting like a tyrant. Today's payback was well deserved. Yi Hao took out a card 310,000 yuan. The doctor accepted it with firm resolve, promising to take the best care of his family. Yi Hao thanked him for his trust. This time, I owe him a favor. No need to thank me, this is what a true doctor should do, the man replied, though his eyes quietly scanned Yi Hao from head to toe. Self-cured from debuffs, gathered 300,000 in no time. This kid is anything but ordinary. The doctor left. Now only the 4 members of the Yi family remained in the ward. Yi Yunfei couldn't hold back any longer and burst into tears, trembling all over. She kept apologizing to Yi Hao for failing to protect their parents. Yi Hao gently comforted her. She herself was injured and weak, how could she have fought against that fat department head? Yi Yunfei felt even more miserable. Because of the lingering debuff, she couldn't participate in the academy's dungeon tournament the next day. She had signed up and sworn to win to improve the family's life. Now everything was ruined, and she had even caused her brother to go borrow money. Yi Hao temporarily set aside the matter of money and asked about the tournament. Was it the annual dungeon competition with a high cash prize? Yi Yunfei nodded. Rumor says the prize this year has been raised to 500,000, so I spent a whole year preparing only to get poisoned right before the match. 500,000. Yi Hao's eyes lit up. He placed a hand on her shoulder. Just rest and recover. Leave the money to me. That 500,000 yuan is as good as ours. The next morning, the Academy's annual dungeon tournament officially began. During the opening ceremony, the principal announced the prize, 500,000 yuan. There would even be bonus rewards depending on dungeon completion. The reason for this year's unusually high prize was the sponsorship of the Han Mo Corporation. Amid the cheers of thousands of students, Mo Kenny appeared with 2 bodyguards, radiating noble grace. The students below screamed wildly. The principal announced another shocking piece of news: the champion would be directly recruited into the Han Mo Corporation's Mo Force Battle Squad, one of the top-tier teams. Joining the Mo Force Battle Squad. That was a one-step leap to glory. The crowd erupted in excitement. Only Yi Hao remained calm. The rivalry between corporations is indeed fierce. This heiress came all the way to the academy to recruit talent herself. He didn't care. His goal was singular: the prize money. After the introductions, the principal got to the main topic. This year's challenge: conquer the haunted Abyss City. A level 510 dungeon. It was one of the Academy's high-level instances, no one had ever cleared it. The weakest monsters were level 5, and the final boss was an elite level 10 demonic beast. Meanwhile, the average student level was 5. Wasn't this suicide? Yi Hao curiously looked up at the screen. The image of the final boss appeared: Phantom Tree Demon, level 10, a true elite monster. Many students turned pale and lost hope. Knew it, the academy never gives away easy prizes. Only Yi Hao smiled. A level 10 Phantom Tree Demon. My synchronization with the Qi Yen Emperor is level 12 perfect. Because of the dungeon's difficulty, the academy allowed team formations of up to 5 members. This information revived the students' morale. With a strong team, victory was possible. However, the tournament also included a PvP mode: players could steal monsters and ambush other teams. So they want to train both combat and survival skills, Yi Hao smirked. Principal, what if a team wins? How will it be counted? A student raised a hand. Haha, I'm sure many of you have the same question, the principal laughed heartily, as if expecting it. The tournament is based on individual accumulation, but the combat energy accumulated from the Phantom Tree Demon will be shared within the team. The team with the highest accumulation will be the victor. To add even more tension, he announced a harsher rule. In the PvP zone, if you defeat another team, you can seize their accumulated points, a mechanic that encouraged mutual slaughter. The students' emotions rose and fell like a roller coaster. Many were already considering giving up. But it was too late. The tournament had officially begun. The students quickly began searching for teammates. An ideal lineup usually required balanced roles such as offense, defense, healing, and support. However, no team wanted to accept a level 3 waste like Yi Hao. Ignoring the mocking voices around him, Yi Hao didn't care. He had no intention of teaming up with anyone anyway. Going solo meant freedom and no need to share the loot. Thinking so, he headed straight to the registration desk. The supervising teacher looked up, surprised to see Yi Hao standing alone. "Hey, where are your teammates?" "It's just me, teacher. Please help me register." The teacher wanted to persuade him otherwise. A lone level 3 martial artist in a dungeon where the weakest monsters were level 5 was far too risky. Before Yi Hao could respond, a mocking voice sounded from behind. "A waste who can't level up just breathing is a waste of air. Don't bother with him, teacher. Let him go die on his own." Yi Hao turned around, his eyes filled with annoyance. "You again." Luo Feng's lackeys gathered around, shouting noisily. Of course, Luo Feng wouldn't miss the chance to humiliate him. He loudly challenged in front of everyone, "If Yi Hao crawls on the ground and barks twice, I'll take him into the dungeon." The two lackeys behind him burst into laughter. "Oh really? And how exactly does a dog bark?" Yi Hao asked calmly. Luo Feng, basking in smugness, answered without thinking, "Woof. Woof. Woof." The moment he finished, both he and his two lackeys froze. Realizing he'd been tricked, Luo Feng roared furiously and swung his fist at Yi Hao. But before the punch landed, the teacher stepped in. "If you want to fight, do it inside the dungeon. Fighting here won't earn you any points." Stopped mid-action, Luo Feng had no choice but to swallow his anger. He pointed at Yi Hao and growled, "Once we're inside the dungeon, I'll be waiting for you to hand me your head." With that, the group strutted away. After Luo Feng's team disappeared, Yi Hao turned back to urge the teacher. Although worried, she had no right to stop a student. "Your courage is commendable, but in the end, results depend on strength. I can only wish you luck." She handed him the registration slip as she spoke. Yi Hao accepted it politely, thanked her, and stepped decisively through the teleportation gate. The moment he entered his first dungeon ever, the royal account system immediately sent a reward, 2,000 experience points. From another corner, Mo Kenny happened to notice Yi Hao's figure. It took her a few seconds to recognize him, the same boy she'd met at the black market yesterday. A mere level 3 dared to step into the black market, and now he was challenging a level 5 to 10 dungeon alone. How amusing. Let's see if you've got more than just guts. Mo Kenny murmured softly, already remembering the name Yi Hao in her heart. Inside the haunted deep forest dungeon. The air was thick and oppressive, creating an almost suffocating tension. On the other side of the teleportation gate, Yi Hao had officially entered the dungeon. Each participant's spawn point was random to prevent teams from slaughtering one another right at the start. This was perfectly suited to his plan. His current objective was to clear out nearby monsters as fast as possible. Without hesitation, Yi Hao got to work. He quickly accumulated a large number of points. Hunting low-level monsters wasn't difficult but took more time than expected. The dungeon was vast, and monsters were scattered everywhere. To win quickly, he'd have to target higher-level beasts. At that moment, Yi Hao noticed several small spiders crawling in the same direction. Trusting his instincts, he decided to follow them. Tracking their trail, he ventured deeper into a dark cave. The scene inside took him by surprise. A massive crimson web stretched across the cavern, and a young girl was tightly bound upon it. Her name was Nguyen DM, a level 5 healer. It seemed she was quite unlucky captured by the dungeon spider leader right after entering. Then again, healers lacked combat power, so becoming the first target made sense. Ruan Jianjian slowly opened her drowsy eyes. She screamed in panic for help. Amid her despair, a figure entered her sight. If you want to live, then keep quiet. With that, Yi Hao swiftly leapt onto a tree branch right above Ruan Jianjian. If you keep screaming like that, even if the monster comes, I won't risk saving you again. It was twilight, but Ruan Jianjian still recognized the young man Yi Hao, the brother of Yi Yunfei, the infamous player who couldn't level up. Just as a spark of hope ignited, it was instantly extinguished. Why is it you? Why did you enter this dungeon? You're only level 3. Are you trying to die? Just leave me and run, or when the beast returns, you'll die with me. Yi Hao merely shrugged. Because Ruan Jianjian happens to be Yi Yunfei's best friend. If she finds out I let her friend die, she'll probably tear me apart. What he needed now was to make Ruan Jianjian shut up and stay still. But the girl, unaware of his true power, kept begging him to escape. A level 3 like you can't possibly cut through elite level 8 spider silk. Really? It's just an elite level 8 beast. Yi Hao replied indifferently, a flame suddenly igniting in his palm. In an instant, all the webbing that bound Ruan Jianjian was burned to ashes. Freed, she still couldn't believe her eyes. The one who saved her was the so-called waste, forever stuck at level 3, unable to level up. After rescuing her, Yi Hao urged her to hurry and rejoin her team. Wandering here alone was far too dangerous. But before he could finish, a sticky liquid suddenly dripped onto his shoulder. Yi Hao looked up. The red widow beast had appeared out of nowhere. Not good. Burning the web earlier must have alerted it. The substance it secreted was poisonous. Instinctively, Yi Hao grabbed Ruan Jianjian and leapt down from the branch. But both of them fell straight into another web hammock already woven below. He hadn't expected the creature to have set traps beforehand. It must be the hunting instinct of an elite monster. Having to carry a girl without combat ability placed him in a severe disadvantage. The red web suddenly tightened, binding them together. Crushed chest to chest, Ruan Jianjian gasped in terror as the red widow slowly crept closer. She thought she was done for. If not strangled, she'd be devoured. Stop struggling. The more you move, the tighter it gets. Yi Hao snapped. He cursed his luck. Lately, he seemed cursed to deal with spiders. Even with the royal account system, his combat experience was still too raw. One careless move had led to a deadly situation. If he got out of this, he'd have to train harder. But for now, escaping this trap came first. The endless crying beside him only made his headache worse. Strangely, the red widow didn't eat them right away. Instead, it silently slithered away. Naive as ever, Ruan Jianjian thought maybe they weren't to its taste. But Yi Hao knew better. He understood this monster's habits. After catching prey, it would lay eggs inside their bodies, turning them into hosts for its offspring. The only reason it left was because it hadn't eaten enough yet. Once it was full, it would come back. No. I don't want to give birth to its babies. Ruan Jianjian screamed in horror, struggling so hard that the web tightened even more. Yi Hao shouted in vain. Girls her age were impossible to reason with. Being tied this close to a girl, their bodies pressed together, made him flustered. Wang Diandian ignored his words, still crying and squirming non-stop. Yi Hao was beyond frustrated. If this went on, he'd die right here. They were too tightly bound together. If he forcibly used the power of the Qi Yan Emperor, she'd be hurt for sure. There was only one option left. Yi Hao bent down and bit into a strand of web. Wang Diandian panicked, thinking he was doing something indecent. What are you doing? Of all times, you pick now to act like a pervert. Stop imagining things. I'll say this once more: if you want to live, stop moving and making weird noises. Yi Hao kept biting through the web strands one by one, luckily discovering they weren't poisonous. That allowed him to keep cutting through them with difficulty. Yi Hao urged, "Bite with me once the web hardens, we won't get another chance to escape." Wang Diandian started biting at the web alongside him. But she was so clumsy that she accidentally bit him several times instead. After much struggling, they finally broke free. Wang Diandian collapsed to the ground, bursting into tears. Hoo, finally saved. It's not time to relax yet, get up and run. Yi Hao snapped. He really couldn't understand how someone like her could be best friends with his demoness of a sister, Yi Yunfei. Still, Wang Diandian refused to stand. My legs are too weak. I can't move anymore. Worse yet, at that moment, the Red Widow returned. Yi Hao pushed Wang Diandian aside. Go find your team, I'll handle this. Yet the girl wouldn't leave, clutching his sleeve. Hey, if you're trying to act cool, pick a better time. You're only level 3, you can't fight an elite level 8 monster. Run with me. Run. Yi Hao sneered. I didn't enter this dungeon to be some prey running for its life. My goal is to hunt. I have a debt to settle, and it's time I collect it. In just a few seconds, the Red Widow loomed right before him. Wang Diandian still stubbornly refused to leave, but Yi Hao no longer had the patience to deal with her. He simply tossed a cold warning, telling her not to get in his way. Yi Hao's sharp gaze shot forward, his invisible pressure making Wang Diandian tremble involuntarily. She quickly stammered, claiming she was a level 5 healer who could help if he got injured. His glance swept past her for only a moment, yet it sent chills down her spine. How could a level 3 possess such terrifying aura? Wang Diandian even briefly wondered if Yi Hao had some way of concealing his true power, but quickly dismissed the thought, it sounded too absurd. Leaving the girl behind, Yi Hao strode alone toward the Red Widow. Black spiders or red spiders, they were all the same. He would use this monster to vent his fury, thinking of his family still lying in the hospital after being wounded by spiders. He drew the flame shadow sword. Seeing a mere level 3 human daring to challenge it, the Red Widow screeched in rage. Yi Hao looked down on it. Even more unlike the demon-eyed beast, this one couldn't even speak human tongue. Clearly, it was far inferior. And just as he predicted, the Red Widow was much weaker. Instantly, the flame shadow greatsword swung down. It carved a sharp arc through the air. With just one strike, the spider's massive body was cleaved in two. Witnessing the scene, Wang Diandian stood frozen in shock. How could such power belong to a waste who couldn't level up? A single blow to slay an elite level 8 beast. She must have been right. Yi Hao was hiding his true strength. Yi Hao successfully defeated the Red Widow, earning 1,000 tournament points, 100 times more than the minor monsters he'd hunted before. The system also granted him 5,000 experience points. Surprisingly, Wang Diandian received 500 points as well. Even though she had contributed nothing and almost dragged him down. Realizing she had lucked into a huge gain, she immediately changed her plan. Forget reuniting with her old team, her new goal was to stick close to this great god. She even clung to him shamelessly. Great god, tell me your secret. How do you hide your level? I mean, you were already a level 3 genius when you enrolled. How could you stay at the same level for so long? You must have a reason, right? Can you tell me? Such a slave to points. Yi Hao started to regret saving her. Fortunately, besides the 1,000 dungeon points, the royal account system had rewarded him with 5,000 experience points, keeping him in good spirits. Otherwise, he'd have scolded Wang Diandian already. Still, the secret of the system was something he could never reveal. You can have your share of points, but the loot's all mine. Got a problem with that? Of course, Wang Diandian had none. Following him for points was all she cared about. Yi Hao then checked his loot. An item appeared. The system labeled it as Venom Fang of the Red Widow, a one-time use combat item. Yi Hao felt lucky. Though the spider hadn't dropped equipment, such consumable items were highly sought after on the black market, easily sold for a fortune. But the luck didn't stop there. Suddenly, a bright light enveloped the Fang, and a message popped up: Venom Fang of the Red Widow has undergone a random upgrade, becoming critical Venom Fang of the Red Widow, gaining bleed, poison, and weaken effects, with usage increased to 3 times. Yi Hao was stunned. Items dropped from monsters could upgrade on the spot. That was unheard of. He suddenly remembered the ring that dropped from the demon-eyed beast earlier and quickly opened his inventory to check. Sure enough, it was the lucky ring, the very item granting the random upgrade effect on drops. With this ring, his future equipment farming would be unstoppable. Yi Hao was thrilled, and would have been even more so if Wang Diandian weren't stuck to him like glue. Listen, I suggest you keep some dignity and stop clinging to people. I'm not a pervert. Yi Hao brushed her hand away. But Wang Diandian stubbornly clung tighter. Who said you're a pervert? I'm just scared I feel safe near you, great God. Everyone at school says you're trash, but that's just an act, right? What item did you use to conceal your real level? I'm so curious, how strong are you really? The more she talked, the more Yi Hao's patience wore thin. At last, he snapped, shaking her hand off forcefully and warning her. He wanted to go solo for a reason. If she insisted on following, she'd better stay quiet and keep his secret, otherwise. He wouldn't hesitate to act, even if she was his sister's best friend. Once again cowed by Yi Hao's pressure, Wang Diandian instantly covered her mouth in submission. They had barely walked a few steps when a mocking voice rang out from behind. Well, isn't that Wang Diandian? Still alive? I'm surprised the Red Widow didn't eat you. Guess your luck's something else. It was her former team, led by Li Yong, the very ones who had deliberately left her behind as bait to kick her out. A fool who spends all day chasing magic has no place in our team. If not for being classmates, I wouldn't have brought you into the dungeon at all. Li Yong currently had 3,000 points, no wonder he acted so arrogant. Wang Diandian fumed. That coward had used her as bait and ran off, and now he dared to mock her once the danger was gone. How shameless could a man be? Li Yong was about to sneer again. But one of his subordinates suddenly noticed the smoldering corpse of the Red Widow nearby, its flames still burning, refusing to die out. Li Yong's jaw dropped. The Red Widow. Dead? I spent ages gathering a team to come back for revenge. Wang Diandian, don't tell me this was your doing. So what if it was? Wang Diandian shot back proudly. She tried to grab Yi Hao's arm again, but he coldly pushed her away. The great God and I joined forces to kill the Red Widow. You got a problem with that? Bunch of cowards like you aren't even in the same league. Being dragged into her drama made Yi Hao's head ache. Meanwhile, Li Yong's group recognized him at once, the infamous, level 3 failure, of the academy. They burst into laughter. Wang Diandian, this is the great God you're talking about. Did the magic fry your brain? Huh, what a pair of magic-obsessed idiot and a useless waste. You two really are a perfect match. Their taunts turned Ruan Jianjian's face beet red. You can insult me all you want, but you're not allowed to insult the great god. If you do, then I'll. She kept stammering for ages, unable to finish a single complete threat. Looking at the burning corpse of the Red Widow, Li Yong clicked his tongue. Forget it, just 1,000 points, we can earn that elsewhere. He believed Ruan Jianjian had simply been lucky and refused to think that trash Yi Hao had any part in the kill. Suddenly, a message window popped up before Ruan Jianjian. Li Yong turned to her, arms crossed, smirking. Looks like you're not completely useless after all, so. Want to rejoin the team? The system screen instantly displayed a prompt. Li Yong invites you to join the team, accept/decline. Rage flared in Ruan Jianjian's chest. You really think I'd still believe you? His teammates joined in mocking her. We're giving you a free win here, don't be ungrateful, your biggest contribution is serving as our meat shield, and if you stick with that kid, you'll die before you even know what hit you. Ruan Jianjian couldn't hold it in any more and snapped, enough. You're not allowed to insult the great god. Just then, a thunderous roar shook the forest. Ruan Jianjian clung to Yi Hao's arm in fear. What kind of terrifying sound is that? In contrast to her panic, Li Yong's team turned toward the trees with excitement. Was that the roar of the rampaging dragon? That's a rare elite beast worth 5,000 points. Can't believe it's this close to us. Let's got his one's worth way more than the Red Widow. Yi Hao spoke calmly, his tone low and steady. Wait, with just you lot, taking on the rampaging dragon is suicide. Li Yong's face darkened. What the hell did you just say? Yi Hao didn't flinch, even smiled faintly. I said, with your current strength, you'd be nothing but its toothpick. Do yourselves a favor and stay alive. Li Yong went berserk, lunging forward. Then I'll kill you first. One teammate quickly grabbed him back. Boss Li, ignore that piece of trash. If someone else kills the beast first, we'll lose out. Before leaving, Li Yong glared back with menace. Remember this, Yi Hao not done. Watching them disappear into the forest, Ruan Jianjian huffed. You can't save idiots from their own death wishes. Great God, just wait, soon they'll come crawling back for help. Then she turned to Yi Hao, her eyes sparkling. Great God, why don't we farm the small monsters around here? With me helping, it'll go faster. Yi Hao shook his head. Farm small monsters? No. Hands casually tucked into his pockets, he walked ahead, explaining, the map's too big and the mobs too scattered, farming them won't give us enough points to win. Ruan Jianjian hurried after him. Then what's your plan? Yi Hao turned back with a sly smile. Simple, we'll follow them and let them do all the work for us. Deep in the mountains, the roaring continued. A lesser beast stumbled out, screaming in terror. In an instant it was swallowed whole by the rampaging dragon. The beast's crimson eyes glowed as it snarled beside its fallen prey. Hidden nearby, Li Yong's team whispered among themselves, Boss Li, looks like the dragon just fought another creature. It's already lost about 15% of its HP, seems we got lucky. Another teammate hesitated, his body trembling. Boss Li, maybe we should just. Li Yong gritted his teeth, calculating, we've got 4 level 5s, you're telling me we can't handle a level 8 elite? It's the only rare boss in this dungeon packed with treasures. And you want me to back off? Clenching his fists, he shouted to boost morale, damn it, stop shaking. I'm here, what's there to fear? Kill it. Even if we don't take the final boss, this'll get us into the top 10. Ignoring all reason, Li Yong began fantasizing, picturing himself slaying the beast, then hunting down Yi Hao afterward. He imagined Ruan Jianjian throwing herself into his arms, cooing, Boss Li, you're amazing, while Yi Hao kneeled before him, begging, big bro, I was wrong. And he'd laugh, shouting, trash. I'll show you who's boss around here. Lost in delusion, he burst into laughter. Alright, that's settled then. Li Yong charged first, come on. Pull yourselves together. Today, we win big. His team followed, shouting, Boss Li is unstoppable. But suddenly, one member froze and screamed, Wait, Boss Li. The man pointed at the monster. I remember from the guide the rampaging dragon's supposed to be black-green, why is it black-red now? Li Yong stiffened, what did you say? Black-red means it's in berserk mode. Maybe it was enraged by the previous fight. Hearing that, Li Yong cursed loudly, damn it. Why didn't you say so sooner? He roared, it's gone berserk. Forget the fight, run, now. Without hesitation, Li Yong turned tail and screamed, run for your lives. The rampaging dragon swung its colossal tail, sending the entire team flying through the air. His teammates could only clutch their heads and scream in terror. A split second later, it opened its jaws and unleashed a torrent of fire, engulfing them in a sea of flames as their cries echoed, help us. Trembling, Li Yong stammered the words, instant kill. Sheer horror filled his mind, so this was the berserk state of a rare elite. Terrifying. As he ran for his life, thoughts raced wildly, the dragon's rage seemed locked onto him, speed was his only strength, his agility attribute let him flee when he couldn't fight, but a dungeon beast's fury wouldn't fade so easily. Gritting his teeth, a sinister plan took shape. He'd lure the monster toward others and shift its wrath elsewhere, and the nearest target was Yi Hao. Perfect, he muttered, you can have this little gift from me, Yi Hao. Li Yong was panting heavily, finally catching sight of Yi Hao and Wan Jianjian's backs. Seeing the two of them walking so leisurely, irritation flared in him. Wan Jianjian turned around, pointing straight at his face and snapping, Li Yong, I knew you'd come crawling back, what did I tell you before? Li Yong only grinned, no need to be so cold, this time, I didn't come back empty-handed. Wan Jianjian frowned, huh? What are you talking about? The words had barely left her lips before Li Yong dashed forward, shouting, I said, I brought you two a very special gift. Yi Hao merely smiled and raised a fist as if to decline the offer, no need to be so polite, your points will be the best gift already, his speed. He's charging head-on. Where are his teammates? Something's off, Yi Hao thought. But Li Yong didn't stop. He shot past them, and just as Wan Jianjian opened her mouth, he suddenly spun around and shoved her hard to the ground, go on, see what kind of gift I brought you. Caught off guard, Wan Jianjian fell, crying out in pain, ow. She barely sat up before yelling, Li Yong, what are you doing? Why? Before she could finish, a massive shadow loomed beside her. Right in front of her was the rampaging dragon, jaws wide, fangs glinting as it prepared to bite down. Wan Jianjian froze in terror, stammering, our rampaging dragon. Panicked, she squeezed her eyes shut, casting a spell while screaming, stay back. Idiot. Don't attack, it's not enraged at you. Yi Hao barked, but it was too late. The energy blast struck the beast's snout, lowering its HP by only a single point. Seeing that, Wan Jianjian burst into tears, bolting toward Yi Hao, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Great God, please save me. Watching this, Li Yong laughed maniacally, never cleared a dungeon before, huh? You're every bit as useless as I thought. He then taunted Yi Hao, well, how does it feel teaming up with such an idiot, Wan Jianjian? Didn't you brag about being some kind of fighter? I've brought you a big gift, you'd better be grateful. As he spoke, Li Yong's body began to fade, my ultimate skills up, this place is all yours now, don't worry, once that dragon rips you apart, I'll kindly pick up your corpses afterward. His arrogant voice echoed through the air before fading completely. But just then, Yi Hao suddenly thrust his hand toward the empty space beside him. Who said you could leave? A startled scream erupted. His hand clamped around Li Yong's neck as the man's invisible form flickered back into sight. Yi Hao's voice was cold, Wan Jianjian may be simple-minded, but at least she's useful to me, you, on the other hand, aren't worth a single coin. Li Yong's eyes widened in disbelief. What? I was completely invisible. How the hell can you see me? Yi Hao's voice dripped with mockery. Looks like your so-called ultimate skill isn't that impressive, you're just hidden, not gone, don't be so surprised. Nothing but a heat source to me, Li Yong struggled in terror. You're saying you can sense me by temperature? That's impossible. He thrashed and screamed, Yi Hao, damn it, let go. The rampaging dragon has gone berserk. If you don't, we'll both die. Yi Hao smirked, is that so? He stomped hard, the ground beneath them split apart. Li Yong's eyes bulged at the sight, such power. From the cracks erupted a blazing sea of fire. Blazing inferno prison quickly surrounding the rampaging dragon. Wang Jianjian screamed in shock. Li Yong gaped, no way. You're the level-locked failure, how can you have power like this? Seeing the tables turn, Li Yong dropped to his knees, pleading, I only want the shared points, you can have all the gear and loot. Yi Hao sneered, oh. You want to team up now? Your shamelessness exceeds my expectations. Then he jerked his chin toward Wang Jianjian, who was still trembling. Ask her if she agrees. Instantly, Li Yong turned to beg her, Sister Wan. We're classmates, please help me out. Wang Jianjian looked at Yi Hao, her heart pounding, the great god is so strong. He makes my heart race. Seeing no response, Li Yong crawled forward, grabbing her leg, beautiful lady, please will you agree? He kowtowed frantically, even if we don't team up, at least spare me. Please ask Yi Hao to forgive me. Startled, Wang Jianjian snapped at him, let go. A despicable coward like you doesn't deserve mercy. I used to treat you like a punching bag, you was wrong. Give me another chance, he begged. Just then, inside the ring of flames, the rampaging dragon suddenly lifted its head and let out a thunderous roar. The fire wall trembled violently. Wang Jianjian cried out in panic, this isn't good, great god. The dragon's breaking free, what do we do? Using its roar to shatter the fire barrier. This berserk beast really can't be underestimated, Yi Hao thought grimly. While everyone's attention was fixed on the monster, Li Yong grinned wickedly, now's my chance. He secretly drew the dagger strapped to his back and lunged at Yi Hao, this poison blade is my one-hit kill. Die, you worthless trash. The tip of Li Yong's blade was blocked mid-strike by a sword that appeared out of nowhere. He gasped in shock, when did this get on his back? Yi Hao's cold voice cut through the air, still daring to sneak attack. Do you keep that head just for decoration? I was going to spare you for helping me lure the monster here. He twisted, driving his sword straight into Li Yong's abdomen, but now, that's unnecessary. A faint smile curved his lips, I'll take every gift you've brought me. A series of system notifications rang out, you have received 5,000 personal points from player Li Yong, Li Yong's team has been disbanded. Ding! PvP protection protocol activated, player Li Yong failed the dungeon, preparing for forced exit, clutching his stomach, Li Yong spat curses as his body began to fade, Yi Hao, you bastard, this isn't over. You hear me? At that same moment, a new notification appeared for Yi Hao, congratulations, player Yi Hao, you have obtained the skill book, Invisibility, PvP Mechanic, Venomous Dagger of Sin, triggered chance to loot opponent's items and gear, tradable. Yi Hao rubbed his chin, murmuring in amusement, Li Yong really lived up to his reputation as a spoiled rich kid, already using rare-grade gear at level 5, he opened his inventory to check the drops, skill book, Invisibility grants the skill Invisibility, duration, 30 seconds, cooldown, 1 hour, upgradable, Venomous Dagger of Sin consumable weapon, chance to inflict a critical hit on humanoid targets. Remaining uses, 1, 2 drops at once. That's new. While he was still pondering, Wang Jianjian's panicked voice echoed from afar, Great God, watch out. She pointed at the rampaging dragon charging toward him in a frenzy, it's coming straight for you. Yi Hao glanced over, well, that was fast. He swung his sword in a powerful arc, explaining calmly as he fought, rampaging dragon, native of the shadowed forest, a rare elite of fire attribute, its main trait is entering berserk mode easily, and once enraged, its stats multiply extremely difficult to handle. The dragon roared and rammed him, sending him flying. A passage from his textbook flashed through his mind: if you ever encounter a berserk beast in the wild or in a dungeon, and you can't escape, lie flat and die with dignity. Streams of blazing orange gold sword light flashed through the air. But now, Yi Hao thought calmly, surrounded by phantom fire dragons, that kind of thing doesn't apply to me anymore. The real problem, he reasoned, was the monster's mechanic. If the rampaging dragon is in berserk mode, defeating it won't drop any loot or gear. Players have to strike hard enough to win, but not so hard they enrage it again. What a pain. Crouching, Yi Hao's eyes gleamed with confidence. Luckily, I'm smart enough to plan ahead. Even if it's gone berserk, I've got a way to deal with it. He gathered strength and shot forward, and the key to that plan is. Yi Hao became a streak of golden light, appearing right before Ruan Jianjian. He barked an order: follow my lead, get ready to give the dragon some comfort, see comfort. Blocking a torrent of fire with his shield, Yi Hao confirmed. That's right, the support class spell unique to healers, the one that dispels berserk states, get it ready. Ruan Jianjian pointed to herself, uncertain. Its true comfort can remove berserk, but the level gap between me and that thing is huge. It might fail, and I can only cast it once in a short time. I didn't say to use it yet, just wait for my signal. Yi Hao shouted, leaping onto the monster's head. He raised a foot and smashed it down. To raise the success rate, I'll drop its HP below 20% first. Got it. Ruan Jianjian nodded, watching intently, awe flooding her eyes. Unbelievable strength. The great god is overpowering a raging elite beast with sheer physical power. His combat level could rival members of corporate strike teams. Yi Hao easily dodged the dragon's tail swipe, analyzing calmly. With his current power, taking down a level 8 berserk elite was simple. But I have to hold back, kill it outright, and I get nothing. This kind of fight is enough to drive anyone insane. Catching the monster's tail, a grin spread across his face. Still, who told you to be a rare elite? Every inch of you is treasure. He gripped the tail tighter and heaved. Now then. He roared, hurling the dragon with all his might, slamming its head into the ground. Let's see what surprises you've got for me. The rampaging dragon was smashed violently into the dirt. Yi Hao released the tail and turned to Ruan Jianjian. Now. Do it. Yes. The girl clenched her fists, raising her pink staff. She began chanting in a bizarre rhythm, fusion of beauty and wisdom, embodiment of love and magic. A giant pink heart materialized atop her staff. Ruan Jianjian winked and blew a kiss. By the power of love, be healed. Yi Hao froze, speechless. Do you have to make it this dramatic? When the pink heart touched the dragon, strange sounds erupted. What kind of noise is that? Is this comfort or torture? Yi Hao glared at her. You didn't miscast the spell, did you? She scratched her head with an awkward grin. Probably not. Then, before their eyes, the massive rampaging dragon shrank into an adorably tiny version of itself. Ruan Jianjian's eyes sparkled. So cute. Is this its true form? Yi Hao muttered in exasperation. Who knows? You've completely ruined the rhythm. Before Ruan Jianjian, the once fierce rampaging dragon had now shrunk into an adorable, harmless creature. She gasped in disbelief. Did my comfort spell really work like this? Yi Hao didn't seem impressed. Enough, I'll finish it off, collect the points and loot, then we're leaving. Ruan Jianjian lunged forward, hugging the tiny dragon tightly. Wait. Looking up at him with pleading eyes, she said, Great God, could you not kill it? Look at how cute it is. And it's a rare elite too, why not keep it as a pet? Yi Hao smirked. A pet, huh? Not a bad idea, then you can compensate me for the loss. He raised his hands suddenly, voice laced with mock threat, maybe I'll just kill you first for your points, then keep the dragon as my pet, 2 birds with 1 stone, sound good? Still hugging the dragon, Wang Yanyan stammered, But then she quickly lifted the little dragon high and said resolutely, I've changed my mind, I think points and loot sound better. The tiny dragon tilted its head and let out a soft cry at Yi Hao. Energy gathered in Yi Hao's palm, forming a gleaming blade. He raised it, speaking coldly to the dragon, those innocent eyes won't save you, you should understand the law of this world better than anyone, only the strong survive. His expression was like ice, humans or monsters, it's the same, if you don't want to be someone's prey, there's only one path: get stronger. Beside him, Huan Yanyan's eyes welled with tears. Without hesitation, Yi Hao's sword fell, the system's chime echoed right after, player Yi Hao has slain the rampaging dragon, rare elite, reward, 5,000 points, player Huan Yanyan assisted, reward, 2,500 points. Huan Yanyan's sadness instantly vanished as her eyes lit up at her screen, oh my gosh, 2,500 points. I didn't think Long Long would give that much, thank you, Long Long. Watching her, Yi Hao muttered, women really do change moods faster than the weather. Another window appeared, rare elite rampaging dragon defeated 50,000 FB acquired, current distributable FB, 750,000, distribute now. 50,000 FB. That's even higher than the level 18 Demon Eye Beast, guess this dungeon really does boost FB efficiency. Yi Hao closed his eyes, focusing as he entered the Royal Account System interface. Looking around the system space, he murmured, let's see what else FB can do besides raising link levels. The mechanical voice replied, large FB reserve detected, optimal distribution suggested. A projection of armor appeared before him, recommendation, increase link level of Crimson Flame Emperor to level 20 to unlock additional accounts or invest in unlocking auxiliary skills for better versatility. Yi Hao thought to himself, unlocking another account at level 20, huh? If the Crimson Flame Emperor is this strong, I wonder what surprises the next one will bring. Crossing his arms, he muttered thoughtfully, but I can't just unlock things blindly, greed backfires. Better to strengthen the Crimson Flame Emperor account first. No matter how strong your attack is, you'll always meet an opponent you can't beat, so you need special abilities and flexible tactics. After some thought, he ordered, open the unique skill panel. The interface shifted rapidly, Crimson Flame Emperor link level, 12, available unique skills, camouflage, mimic the aura of a creature 1 rank higher for 2 minutes, cooldown, 1 hour, cost, 50,000 FB, burning speed. Ignite flames to increase speed by 50% for 1 minute, cooldown, 6 hours, cost, 30,000 FB, true eyes, reveal all living beings within a set radius, cooldown, 1 hour, cost, 70,000 FB. Seeing the list, Yi Hao whistled, damn, these skills are expensive. Then he smiled, but true eyes is pretty broken, it's basically a mini-map scanner. Even if it only detects living things, that's perfect for locating the final boss, the Shadow Treant Lord, 70,000 FB. Worth it. Without hesitation, he reached toward the holographic icon, unlock true eyes, 70,000 FB consumed, skill successfully unlocked. Clenching his fist, excitement surged through him, that Shadow Treant Lord's been hiding too well. I was thinking of giving up, but with this radar, there's no escaping me, that final kill is mine. Just then, Huan Yanyan's voice called from outside, great God, look at this. Yi Hao turned, what is it? This, take a closer look. Following her gesture, he saw a faint glow emerging from the ground, his face instantly darkened, what the hell, Huan Yanyan? Who told you to open the loot? Did you even wash your hands first? She gave an awkward smile, I couldn't help it. But that's not the point. Look, it's an egg. An egg? Don't tell me this is one of those ultra-rare drops from Legend. The system window appeared, unidentified egg, a peculiar egg with strange patterns. You may use FB to incubate it or fry it into egg rice. Yi Hao's mouth twitched, egg rice. Seriously? He glanced at Wang Diandian, a thought forming, still. An item like this could be something rare, maybe she's absurdly lucky. Wang Diandian's eyes sparkled, this is great. Rare elite eggs can be raised into battle pets or mounts with insane combat power. She already imagined Yi Hao atop a mighty dragon, just picturing the great god riding a rampaging dragon mount makes my heart race. Yi Hao chuckled, sounds good to me, system. Yi Hao obtained unidentified egg. Wang Diandian stepped closer, whispering gratefully, that's amazing, great god, I finally did something useful, I've only been holding you back, thank you for not abandoning me. Yi Hao turned away coolly, nice speech, but I'm not falling for it, this egg's not yours. Wang Diandian blushed and waved her hands, no, no. I mean it. I wasn't trying to trick you. Then she hurried after him, I don't need your egg, great god, wait for me. Elsewhere, outside the dungeon, Mo Ka and I sat on a sofa, eyes fixed on the surveillance feed. As I thought, this boy has real skill, even a berserk rampaging dragon couldn't beat him, he's clearly no ordinary level 3. She turned and gave an order, call Headmaster Yen for me, a respectful voice replied from behind, yes, miss. Turning off the screen, Mo Ka and I thought, the dungeon surveillance system those old Lin men built is decent, but it only works for low-level dungeons. Once it can monitor mid and high-tier ones, it'll finally be useful for improving our corporation's team rankings. Moments later, Headmaster Yen entered, bowing slightly, Miss Mo, you asked for me? Mo Ka and I rested her chin on her hand, Headmaster Yen, what's Yi Hao's dungeon score ranking? He looked surprised, that student who can't level up. Her expression turned intrigued, can't level up. Explain. The headmaster covered his mouth, recalling, well, when Yi Hao first enrolled, he was already level 3, a genius at the academy, but 3 years have passed, and he hasn't gained a single level, we're not sure what the issue is. Mo Ka and I tilted her head, thoughtful, level 3, hiding his strength so well. What's your goal, Yi Hao? You're getting more and more interesting. At that moment, the headmaster's gaze shifted to the leaderboard and he froze, what? Yi Hao is ranked 3rd. How is that possible? Mo Ka and I clasped her hands together, eyes sharp, Headmaster Yen, it's time to announce the dungeon rankings, make everyone's location public while you're at it. The headmaster gaped, what? Miss Mo, you're planning to increase the dungeon's difficulty? The mechanics are brutal enough already. If we reveal everyone's positions, they'll start fighting each other and Yi Hao will be targeted for sure. Mo Kani's tone was calm and icy, reality is harsher than this level 10 dungeon, the Hanmo group wants only the strongest talents, and that boy, Yi Hao, is not as simple as he seems. Folding his arms, Headmaster Yen thought to himself, I didn't expect Miss Mo to rate Yi Hao so highly. Maybe he really is special, I'll have to keep an eye on him. Inside the shadowed forest dungeon, the night was thick and suffocating. Chen Feng, leader of a small squad, lay sprawled on the ground clutching his wounded arm, shouting in fury, his team's 2,000 points were about to be stolen, I can't believe you bastards teamed up to hunt other players, how despicable can you get? From above, La Feng, captain of the opposing squad, looked down with his weapon in hand, despicable. There's no rule against alliances in this dungeon, Chen Feng roared, La Feng, you, but La Feng cut him off with a smug grin, I'm just making good use of the rules, if you losers don't want to cooperate. He stomped on Chen Feng's chest and sneered, then crawl out of the dungeon and go cry to the headmaster. A mechanical system voice echoed, La Feng has defeated Chen Feng's squad, 2,000 points acquired. Right after, another squad leader, Zhang Yi, stepped up excitedly, as expected of Brother Feng. Under your command, our 2 teams are unstoppable, points are rolling in easily. La Feng smirked arrogantly, I'll be joining a corporate combat team soon, if I can't handle small fry like this, what future would I have? Pathetic, beating trash like them isn't even fun, only worth it for the points. Just then, a system leaderboard popped up before their eyes. What's this ranking board the system just projected? The four of them exclaimed in unison. One teammate shouted, excited, the academies made the dungeon rankings and player locations public. What's going on? La Fong laughed, isn't it obvious? The academy thinks the competition's too Temethiri spicing things up, works perfectly for me. Now we can openly hunt down others for points. Suddenly, La Feng's gaze locked on one name sitting in third place, Yi Hao. He roared, what? That useless piece of trash is still alive and he's third place. Stroking his chin, a sly smile crept onto his face. How did you pull that off, huh? Luck. If pure luck got you to third, I'll still give you credit, but your luck just ran out, all your points belong to me now. Raising his weapon high, La Fong barked to his team, follow me, we're going to clean up the battlefield. A map of the entire region flashed in his mind, and on the way, we'll crush that useless Yi Hao. Yes, sir, his men shouted in unison. Elsewhere, a lone figure was sprinting for his life, gasping but not daring to stop. It was Su Tian, captain of another squad currently holding 6,500 points. How did it come to this? How did everything turn upside down? He twisted his body to dodge a blazing fireball, feeling the heat scorch the back of his neck. That guy is a demon. Staggering, Su Tian turned to look behind him in disbelief. His squad had been the hunters, but now, Yi Hao alone had turned the tables completely. How is this possible? Just a level 3 reject, and he's this strong. As flames closed in around him, despair filled his eyes. No way out. Trapped. Then a calm voice echoed from ahead, running somewhere. Yi Hao and Wang Jianjian stepped out leisurely, a small flame flickering in his palm. Relax, I don't eat people, didn't you want my points? Yi Hao slipped one hand into his pocket, laughing lightly. I'll stay right here, come kill me, don't be shy, you're full of crap. Su Tian shouted hysterically, you've already wiped out my whole team, you think I'll fall for that? With a crazed snarl, Su Tian charged forward. Damn it, I'm dead anyway. I'll take you down with me. Yi Hao replied dryly, funny, you're the ones who attacked first, why act like I'm the villain here? He calmly raised his hand, stopping to punch midair. It's fine. Yi Hao smiled, whether you play the devil or the hero, it's all the same if it earns points, you. Before Su Tian could finish, Yi Hao's true flame burst forth, engulfing him completely. Next time, bring more people. The system chimed again. Yi Hao has slain Su Tian, 6,500 points and one basic healing potion acquired. PvP protection initiated, forcing Su Tian's removal. Wang Jianjian ran over, eyes sparkling. Amazing, great God. 4 enemy squads came for us, and you counter-killed all of them. Too bad none of them dropped good loot. Hearing that, Yi Hao rubbed his chin. The academy making rankings and locations public, classic move by that noble heiress. She wanted chaos, but ended up helping me farm points effortlessly. What a convenient assist. Then another message appeared. Congratulations, Yi Hao's squad, current score, 22,500, rank, 1. We're first place, great God. That's incredible. Wang Jianjian cheered, leaping forward to hug him. All right, he exclaimed, now's not the time to celebrate, stay alert. But Wang Jianjian was already lost in her daydream, the headmaster personally awarding her on the victory stage. Let's congratulate the genius healer Wang Jianjian, first place in this dungeon challenge. Here is your medal and prize. Yi Hao's mouth twitched. Give me a break, he thought, with how you've been acting, people probably already hate you. He looked at the map hovering before him. Seems only 3 squads remain, the final phase is near. Wang Jianjian glanced around nervously, but why are La Fong and Zhang Yi tailing us without attacking? Yi Hao crossed his arms. I know La Fong too well, hacks reckless, but he's cautious to the bone. With both hands in his pockets, he sneered, he's hiding, observing from afar, my performance is outside his expectations, so he's biding his time. Once he's certain of victory, he'll strike, kill me, and steal all my points. That's disgusting. Wang Yanyan stomped angrily. Yi Hao, Yun Fei told me he's always targeted you. Why? Because he used to be my underling, Yi Hao snapped. Forget him, what matters now is focusing on finding the dungeon's final boss. Wang Yanyan frowned, but rumor says the final boss, the Shadow Treant Lord, merged with the forest itself. No one's ever found it. Maybe the Academy designed this dungeon so PvP decides the winner. I'm surprised you came to that conclusion, Yi Hao said, impressed. Don't underestimate my brains just because of my looks, she declared, hands on hips. You're right, Yi Hao admitted, brushing his hair back. This dungeon really is meant to test our PvP ability, but I'm not giving up on that Treant Lord. It's packed with loot and FB. Then he raised his hand, eyes flashing. Activate True Eyes. Instantly, his vision synchronized with the entire forest. Every corner of the shadowed forest unfolded in his mind's eye. It even shares vision with the environment. No wonder it cost me 70,000 FB, he marveled. His gaze locked deep within the woods, and Yi Hao smirked. Found you the final boss, Shadow Treant Lord. Soft golden lights swirled around, illuminating Yi Hao's face. He smirked slightly, thinking, the unique skill, True Eyes, truly didn't disappoint. In just an instant, I've located the hidden final boss. Whether in reality or in a dungeon, the fusion of power and unique skills is the true path to supremacy. This is exactly what I need. Before him, a blazing red trail of flame stretched forward like a serpent. Yi Hao crossed his arms and chuckled, a flame trail leading straight to the boss. Didn't expect it to come with navigation mode. Such thoughtful service. Definitely a 5-star review. The idea flashed through his mind, and he sprinted forward, shouting as he ran, let's go, Wang Yanyan. I found the final boss. Hurry, before someone else takes it. Hearing that, she cried out excitedly, the final boss. That's amazing, great God. While chasing after him, she quickly warned, but great God, could you be a little quieter? What if someone else hears us? Meanwhile, in the bushes not far away, La Fong was hiding and observing, his face twisted in shock. That brat Yi Hao actually found the final boss by himself? You've got to be kidding me. Beside him, Zhang Yi hesitated. What if he's setting a trap for us? La Fong clenched his fists, grinding his teeth in anger. That Yi Hao brat mocking me? He used to be so weak, I beat him senseless all the time, and now he's a different person. Impossible. Zhang Yi muttered, but Brother Fong, you saw it wiped out 4 squads before they could even react. What now? Do we keep following? La Fong snarled, do you even need to ask? I'm definitely joining the Mo Gong battle team. I'll take all their points. Whatever trick he's playing, I'll show him what real discipline means. He leapt to his feet and shouted arrogantly, move out. I'm not like those useless idiots. Follow me. The 2 teammates behind him answered in unison, yes, sir. La Fong gripped his weapon tight, a cold smile spreading across his face. This time, I'll cut down both him and the boss. Suddenly, one teammate looked up in alarm. Not good, Brother Fong. Yi Hao's signal just vanished. La Fong glared at his system screen and roared, what the hell? How can someone alive just disappear? What kind of skill did he learn? Trying to mess with me? Another teammate asked nervously, what now, Brother Fong? He shouted through gritted teeth, that Wang Yanyan girl from class 15-3 is still in his squad, right? Surround her. I don't believe Yi Hao will just sit and watch like a coward. You want to play games? Fine, I'll play with you. Deep within the forest, Wang Yanyan looked around in confusion. Great God, stop joking around. Where are you? Now's not the time to use invisibility. She hugged her arms, worrying. He only said one thing, act as bait, and then disappeared. What did he mean by that? Does he want me to lure La Feng's group out? But they're not that stupid. Before she could finish the thought, La Feng and his men appeared. From above, he looked down coldly. Where's Yi Hao? Ruan Diandian froze, hooked already. She cried out in panic, what are you doing? You scared me half to death. La Feng frowned impatiently, quit pretending. Tell me where's that useless Yi Hao hiding? Ruan Diandian's eyes welled with tears, her voice trembling. I don't know, he just vanished from the map, you must have seen it too, right? He raised his weapon, pointing straight at her, still playing dumb. Want me to cut you down? She screamed, terrified, I really don't know. Inside, she cried out silently, please, come out, great God. I can't hold on much longer. At that moment, the ground beneath La Feng's team began to shake violently. A massive dark shadow slowly rose from the depths of the earth. The group shouted in fear, what is that? An earthquake? La Feng turned and saw the enormous figure clearly, his eyes widening, Shadow Treant Lord, the dungeon's final boss. The system displayed, Shadow Treant Lord level 10. Two of his teammates trembled and cried out, no way. How unlucky can we get? We ran right into the boss no one else could find. Another said hopelessly, we thought we could just hold our PvP points till time ran out. How are we supposed to fight this now? La Feng lowered his stance, raising his large shield in front, stop panicking. The Shadow Treant Lord is only a level 10 elite. We've got 10 people form up. I'll hold its aggro. The team shouted in unison, yes, sir. Gritting his teeth, he thought, so this was your plan all along, Yi Hao, fine, I'll accept your gift, once I defeat this boss, I'll come and thank you personally with my axe. He raised his axe and shouted, fight as usual. Target its elemental weakness. The Shadow Treant Lord roared, swinging its colossal arm downward. La Feng immediately commanded, fire mages, attack now. The two mages behind him answered, understood. He lifted his shield to block the thunderous blow, shouting, healers, watch my HP. Don't stop casting. A voice replied, yes, sir. Moments later, fiery explosions erupted as blazing fireballs bombarded the giant boss. The team cheered loudly, go wild. We've got this. Roger that. Nearby, Ruan Diandian stood frozen, watching in awe, such perfect coordination. They don't look like a temporary team at all, maybe La Feng's arrogance isn't just talk as actually capable. Fireballs exploded one after another, and the Shadow Treant Lord's energy slowly decreased. She whispered anxiously, where are you, great God? If you don't show up soon, La Feng's team might actually defeat the boss. One teammate shouted excitedly, this is awesome. At this rate, we might actually take down the Shadow Treant Lord. La Feng laughed loudly, answering, don't say might. Say definitely. With our numbers and my leadership, a level 10 boss is nothing. He swung his axe hard at the massive trunk, but the damage number that appeared was 0, La Feng froze and screamed, what? It turned to stone. Total damage immunity. The Shadow Treant Lord's eyes glowed bright red, its body hardening like rock. La Feng shouted, everyone stay sharp. The boss has entered phase 2. Streams of green light burst violently from the Shadow Treant Lord's body, forcing La Feng's team to stumble back in fear. One shouted, what the hell is going on? What's happening? Another snapped, don't ask me. How the hell should I know? The group screamed in panic. None of them had ever seen the boss's second phase before. What do we do now, Brother Feng? One teammate froze in horror as the massive roots beneath their feet began to move. This tree, it's moving. The surrounding trunks trembled, and smaller Treant figures emerged, circling them menacingly. Someone shrieked, oh my God. Is the Shadow Treant Lord splitting its power to spawn mini-trends? Our numbers advantage is gone. These things are at least level 7. Run. La Feng gritted his teeth and roared, "Run my ass. Hold the formation. Trigger your rage skills and drag them toward me. Don't lose control." But his voice wasn't enough to stop the chaos. The players scattered in all directions. Furious, La Feng bellowed, "You useless bastards." Nearby, Ruan Jianjian was ensnared by one of the tray ants, its branches coiling tightly around her and lifting her upside down into the air. She screamed, thrashing wildly, "What do you think you're doing? Put me down, you perverted tree. If I could just get my hands free." The branches squeezed tighter, and she cried out in panic, "Great God! Help me!" From a distance, Yi Hao dashed forward, slamming his foot into the Trent's body. The precise kick sent it reeling back, forcing the branches to loosen. Ruan Jianjian fell, eyes shut, screaming in terror, but before she hit the ground, she felt a strong arm catch her midair. Standing atop the Trent's trunk, Yi Hao held her securely and smiled, "Your mission is complete, well done." She blinked up at him, still shaken, "Great God." His calm voice carried a faint laugh, "Next time you want to watch the show, try standing farther away." Tears welled in her eyes, her voice trembling, "Really? Did I really help you this time?" He nodded lightly, "Of course." She burst into tears, clutching him tightly while laughing, "That's great. I was so scared. But at least I did something useful." He gently patted her shoulder, speaking low and steady, "It's all right now, sorry for using you as bait, once this is over, I'll make it up to you." Not far away, La Feng's angry roar echoed through the forest. Swinging his axe, he shouted, "Damn it. This isn't the time for flirting. So it really was your setup, Yi Hao. You lured us to the boss just to play fisherman, huh? You shameless bastard." Yi Hao chuckled and replied, "Shameless? A fisherman's trick? Not really, I was just watching the show. Dealing with the boss like this, I don't need anyone's help." His gaze swept over La Feng, his tone calm, "But I'll admit, your commanding ability is impressive. Your composure, too." La Feng barked, "I don't have time for your flattery. If you know my skill, then work with me." Blocking a tray ant strike with his shield, he shouted, "Even if you're useless, you can still serve as decoys. Lure those monsters toward me." Yi Hao smirked, his tone dripping with sarcasm, "So proud right after a compliment, huh, La Feng?" Zhang Yi rushed over, yelling, "Get lost, you worthless trash. Don't block me, or I'll kill you myself." Before he could finish, Yi Hao raised his hand and struck, instantly killing him. His voice was cold, "Join forces. Do you really think I need to?" The system chimed. Defeated player Zhang Yi gained 8,500 points. La Feng clenched his fists, roaring furiously, "Damn you, Yi Hao. You're killing your own side in the middle of a boss fight." Yi Hao smiled faintly, motioning with one hand, "My own side? No, to me, you're just walking point bags easy farming, you." La Feng roared. He charged forward, axe raised high, "Showing off in front of me? I'll crush you." Yi Hao crossed his arms, taunting, "Can't hold it in already, huh?" He pivoted and struck, landing a clean blow on La Feng's head. His voice was calm but sharp, "Remember, this passion on the battlefield is fine, but without strength, it just means you'll die first." La Feng fell hard, clutching his head, "You bastard." He staggered back to his feet, snarling, "Screw you. I don't need your lecture. No matter how good you are at PvP, there's no way you can solo the final boss. Even if you take all our points, if the boss kills you, you gain nothing." Yi Hao folded his arms, smiling confidently, "Is that so? Then I'll keep you Olivito die last, that way, you can watch it happen." He raised his hand, gathering energy into a blazing illusion of a fiery lotus in the air. His proud, confident voice rang out, "I'll show you how I can take every point and still walk away unharmed." La Feng yelled, panicked, "What are you doing?" Streams of flame rained down from the fiery lotus above, engulfing the area. The surrounding treants burned to ashes in seconds. But nearby players screamed in agony, "Why are we getting hit too? It hurts. You bastard, Yi Hao." Scarlet fire swept across the battlefield. One player collapsed, clutching La Feng's leg. "Brother Feng. Help me." La Feng kicked him away, shouting, "Let go. Get off me." At that moment, the Shadow Treant Lord opened its mouth wide, absorbing the green energy from the lesser treants around it. Someone shouted, It's pulling back all the power it split off." Wuan Jianjian stared in shock as cracks spread across the boss's stone body, glowing faint green from within, its petrified shell. "It's breaking apart." She choked out, "Could it be the Shadow Treant Lord is about to explode?" The cracking noise echoed through the forest. From within the stone shell, a new form emerged, smaller, fiercer, its entire body shining with light. On the system screen, glowing text appeared rapidly. Shadow Treant Lord, Shadow State, Attributes, Darkness Wood. Wuan Jianjian's eyes widened as she shouted in awe, "Could this be the Shadow Treant Lord's final form?" Wuan Jianjian clasped her hands tightly, speaking anxiously, "So this is the Shadow Treant Lord's final form? It's smaller than before, but it feels so much stronger. Great God, please be careful." Yi Hao stared at the boss before him, the Shadow Treant Lord, Shadow State. In the blink of an eye, the massive figure vanished, only to reappear instantly right behind him. He turned his head sharply, thinking, "So fast. Its speed has skyrocketed. This is no longer the pace of a level 10 boss." Yi Hao quickly raised his sword to block, the impact cracking the ground beneath his feet. He leapt high into the air, mind racing. Smaller body, drastically higher speed, yet its strength hasn't dropped. For ordinary players, without a special tactic, defeating it would be nearly impossible. From the boss's body, streaks of green light shot upward, stretching out toward Yi Hao in the sky. Below, La Feng smirked triumphantly and shouted, "That's it for you, Yi Hao. You thought you could solo the boss? It's baiting you into the air for a combo strike. Once you fall, you'll be nothing but minced meat." From above, Yi Hao swung his sword, sending blazing red slashes crisscrossing through the air, slicing apart the incoming branches. Flames roared, burning through the canopy. He chuckled, "Your guess isn't wrong, but so what? No matter how dense its branches are, it's still just a level 10 boss. A true killing move doesn't need to be fancy, it only needs to hit the weak point." A deafening roar echoed. The Shadow Treant Lord staggered back, trembling within the sea of flames. Yi Hao landed lightly, his tone calm, "A little more fire should do it." The blaze surged higher, consuming the entire boss. It screamed in agony as the system's voice rang out, "Congratulations, player Yi Hao, for defeating the dungeon boss Shadow Treant Lord. Reward, 10,000 points plus 10,000 kill bonus points. Achievement unlocked, gathering firewood." Before him, a portal appeared as a system message followed, "Dungeon, Shadowed Forest cleared, survivors remaining, 3, portal activated, please exit promptly." La Feng collapsed to his knees, staring in disbelief. He one-shot the boss. That has to be Yi Hao. Yi Hao replied coldly, "As long as you're strong enough, anything is possible." He stepped forward, frowning slightly, "The show's over, now it's your turn." La Feng panicked, bowing his head repeatedly, "Brother Hao, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You're the bigger man, and hold grudges. I'll serve under you again, alright?" Yi Hao crossed his arms, looking down at him, his voice icy, "You still have the face to say that? Want to be my subordinate again? Too bad you've already lost that right." La Feng shouted angrily, "Damn you. Stop acting high and mighty." Before he could finish, Yi Hao's sword slashed down, severing the arm that held his axe. Wuan Jianjian cried out furiously, "Even now you're trying to strike from behind? But such petty tricks meant nothing to Yi Hao. Lu Feng's face darkened, a crooked smile crept onto his lips. Is that so? A sudden burst of black smoke engulfed him. Wang Yanyan gasped, that card. Is that a puppet card? Lu Feng appeared by the portal, laughing loudly. Bye-bye, Yi Hao. You're strong, but your real combat sense is still too green. Wang Yanyan shouted in alarm, he's trying to escape. Lu Feng stepped backward toward the portal, still grinning, you'll never get my points. Yi Hao turned sharply, swinging his sword. Before absolute strength, experience means nothing. A fiery blade tore through the smoke. Lu Feng's figure vanished, leaving only a dying scream. Yi Hao. You bastard. The system blared. Player Yi Hao defeated Lu Feng, gained all points from Lu Feng's squad. His body hit the ground as new text appeared. Item obtained, puppet card. When activated, user can create a puppet clone for combat. Original body enters stealth for 30 seconds. Users remaining. 2. Survivors remaining. 2. Yi Hao, 62,000 points. Wang Yanyan, 21,000 points. Wang Yanyan beamed, jumping excitedly. I earned 21,000 points this run. At a 110 conversion rate, that's 210,000. I'm rich. Yi Hao glanced at her, speaking slowly. I already said, once we leave the dungeon, the party disbands. The 500,000 reward belongs to me. No objections, right? She smiled brightly. Of course not. I'm already happy with what I got. Thank you, great God, for helping me win. Yi Hao nodded slightly, thinking, at least she knows when to be content. A rookie, but straightforward enough. The system chimed again. Boss defeated. Shadow Treant Lord, gained 50,000 FB, 20,000 gold. Items, Treant Branch times 20, Treant Bark times 10, Level 10 Magic Crystal times 2, Special Reward, Natural Heart Gem. Effect, increases healing weapon efficiency by 30%. Chance to summon a healing sapling. Yi Hao picked up the glowing gem, murmuring, a gem that boosts healing efficiency. Quite a rare item, but for me, it's useless. Keeping it might only cause suspicion. He tossed the gem toward Wang Yanyan. Here, it's yours. She caught it in surprise, eyes wide. What? You're giving me something this valuable? She held the gem, smiling bashfully. I barely did anything. Giving me such a precious item, does that mean, great God, you? Yi Hao's tone went cold. Stop, quit those delusional thoughts. He opened his system interface, speaking evenly. This is just your reward for acting as bait earlier. I keep my word. Alright, I'm disbanding the party now. She bowed her head softly. Yes. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Cracks spread wide as the system blared urgently. Warning. Dungeon space instability detected. Remaining players, evacuate immediately. Portal will close in 2019. Wang Yanyan clutched her head, screaming in panic. What's happening? Yi Hao looked down as the ground began to collapse and shouted, the dungeon's breaking apart. Something serious must be happening outside. Yi Hao ran while shouting, hurry. Get to the portal, leave the dungeon now. If you're trapped in this space, you'll never get out. Wang Yanyan, panicking, held her head and cried, yes. The system has started the countdown. As she tried to run, her foot slipped hard, and she fell flat onto the cold ground, crying out in pain. What's wrong? Yi Hao immediately turned back and asked. She clutched her leg, tears streaming down her face. It hurts. I think I twisted my ankle. Yi Hao froze. You've got to be kidding me. At a time like this? The system's cold voice echoed. Countdown, 13. Wang Yanyan burst into tears. I'm sorry. I tripped again. I really am just a useless newbie. I never should have joined such a hard dungeon. Great God, go. Don't let me drag you down. Yi Hao said nothing more. He simply bent down, wrapped an arm around her waist, and said quietly, you're right, in this world, doing something beyond your ability is just asking for death. He lifted her up in his arms, his voice steady and low, but you're still a teammate I chose, abandoning my teammate to save myself that's something I don't do, the system continued. 10. Yi Hao tightened his grip, swung his arms, and hurled her toward the glowing portal, shouting, "Go!" 9. Ruan Jianjian screamed as she was thrown, "Great God! What are you doing?" Her figure disappeared into the light, her voice echoing, "Why are you so stupid? Why sacrifice yourself for me? I don't want to live alone." The countdown raced on, 5. 3. She reached out toward Yi Hao, tears glistening in the blinding light. "You said you'd never abandon a teammate." Then came the final message, "Portal closed." Silence. Yi Hao sighed, pulling out a scroll and smirking. "You'd think this was a tragic farewell or something, she should be an actress," the system chimed. "You are using a return scroll." He scratched his head, muttering, "Sacrifice myself for her." As if, she just forgot to bring a return scroll, the system explained. Return scrolls allow teleportation from a dungeon to a fixed location, cannot be used while locked or in PvP mode. A soft green glow surrounded him. Initialization complete, beginning teleport. Yi Hao's body turned into light and vanished from the dungeon. Outside the academy rest area, the system voice rang out, teleportation to the designated location complete. Yi Hao appeared amid ruins, exclaiming in shock, "What the? Why is the dungeon exit destroyed? Where are the teachers and students? An earthquake? No, portals aren't that fragile, there must be another reason." He looked around while moving and spotted Ruan Jianjian sitting nearby, crying. "Yi Hao! Why are you such an idiot?" she sobbed. He leaned against a wall and walked over, teasing, "Hey, who's the idiot here? And is this really the time for that?" She lifted her tear-filled eyes and cried, "Yi Hao! You're alive. The portal closed. I thought you were trapped inside the dungeon." He smiled, gently patting her head. "Stop crying, I'm fine. The portal closed, sure, but I had a return scroll." Ruan Jianjian hugged him tightly, crying, "Next time you can't trick people like that again. Promise me." Yi Hao stiffened, thinking, seriously, what is she thinking? Using a return scroll is basic knowledge. Ruan Jianjian blushed, realizing what she'd said, and quickly turned away. "Sorry. That was improper of me." He frowned slightly, puzzled. "What's with that? She's bold inside a dungeon but shy like a schoolgirl outside." Just then, heavy footsteps echoed nearby. A group of mercenaries stormed in, the leader barking, "Damn it, why are there still 2 students here? What kind of screw-up is this? Weren't all students supposed to be locked in the gym? Grab them. If the boss finds out, we're dead." Ruan Jianjian panicked, hiding behind Yi Hao, the insignia on them. Could it be the Black Tiger Mercenary Corps? Yi Hao's tone hardened, the same group that killed people in the safe zone 5 years ago and got blacklisted? He frowned deeper. No, the Black Tigers only care about profit. Why infiltrate the safe zone, and even a school? What's their purpose? A name flashed in his mind: Mo Kani. One mercenary sneered, well, a level 3 student with such a cute girlfriend, guess heaven's unfair, huh?" Ruan Jianjian trembled, pressing closer behind him. Yi Hao said softly, "Don't worry, as long as I'm here, you'll be fine." The mercenaries shouted angrily, "You little level 3 trash, acting tough. Break his legs. Let's see how he likes watching us play with his girlfriend. A sweet little student girl never had one before." They charged all at once, blades raised. Yi Hao replied calmly, "All right then, come on." A flash of sword light, clean and precise. Within seconds, all the mercenaries were down. The system chimed, "Enemies defeated, gain 2000 FB." One dying mercenary gasped, trembling, "Impossible. You're level 3. How could you one-shot all of us level 15? Yi Hao rested his sword on his shoulder, glancing down at him. I've heard that line too many times, if I recall, criminals like you sneaking into the safe zone dead or alive earn a bounty, so tell me, did you come here just to donate your reward money to me? The man fell to his knees, shaking, tossing all his valuables forward. Don't kill me. You can have everything money, intel, just spare me. The system warned, passive skill Scarlet Flame Emperor pre-ignition activated, maximum burn damage per second, 12, Yi Hao's blade pierced his shoulder, the man screamed, it's Mo Connie. We were ordered to kill Mo Connie. Yi Hao smirked, that obvious a confession. Worthless. The mercenary blurted out desperately, it was the Huangjing Corporation. They hired us to kill Mo Connie. They even lent our leader a rare artifact to control her 2 personal guards. Hearing that, Yi Hao stroked his chin, his eyes glinting. The Huangjing Group and Han Mo have been fighting over hunting zone rights. And now they dare target Mo Connie, looks like internal chaos over there. He pulled his sword back, smiling faintly, at least your intel has some value. The mercenary bowed his head, trembling, thank you. Thank you for sparing me. He hurriedly uncorked a potion bottle, muttering, heal. Come on, heal. But seconds later, he screamed in terror, why? Why am I still bleeding? Red flames engulfed his entire body. You tricked me, he howled in agony. Yi Hao didn't look back, replying coldly, tricked you. I never said I'd spare you. The system chimed, kill confirmed, gained 1000 FB, 500 gold, level 10 magic crystal ×1, low-grade treasure ×1, adult magazine ×1. Yi Hao paused, sighing softly, seriously. Why do all these weird items keep dropping? He turned and warned, it seems this whole area's been sealed by a barrier, can't leave anymore, find a safe place to hide, and don't let them spot you. Wang Diandian nodded quickly, yes, but what about you? This time the academy's up against a full mercenary corps from the black market. Yi Hao glanced back, his tone dropping low, right now, I'm the only one who has a chance to save everyone, even if it's dangerous. I have to go, let me say this one more time, find a place to hide and don't mess up again. A mistake in reality means real death. She smiled faintly and nodded, yes, I understand, I'll definitely find somewhere to hide. Inside, Wang Diandian felt a spark of joy. Yi Hao. He's worried about me. That's so kind of him. Even though I'm useless, he doesn't look down on me. Watching his back fade away, she whispered softly, Yi Hao, please be careful too. Stay safe. He didn't turn around, only replied curtly, don't worry. Yi Hao's gaze darkened, I've got a plan. His mind worked fast. The top priority is keeping Mo Connie alive. His wealthy patron absolutely cannot die here otherwise. Who's going to pay him? Elsewhere, within the campus grounds, a patrol squad of mercenaries grumbled as they walked. The leader cursed, damn it, weren't all the students already captured? Why are we still stuck patrolling? Another side, the captain said some students might still be in the dungeon, bad luck for our squad getting gate duty. A third snorted, what's there to fear? The dungeon gate's destroyed, even if any brats are left inside, they're dead by now. Yi Hao hid behind a nearby wall, quietly listening to everything. He frowned, even these patrol grunts are level 15. With their numbers advantage, the teachers who are only level 10 to 20 won't stand a chance. He opened his system panel, checking that True Eyes still needed 20 minutes to recharge. Hang in there, Miss Mo, before I map out every hostile force in this place. Yi Hao looked up, eyes following the 2 mercenaries walking away. I'll tail them. That captain they mentioned might spill something useful. Inside the auditorium, a soldier shouted, Boss, all the students captured at the dungeon gate are here. The squad leader of the mercenary corps nodded approvingly, smirking, good, nobody moves. If you want to live, sit still. A furious female voice snapped, what the hell do you people want? Teacher Lo struggled against the ropes tying her to a chair, shouting, "Let me go. Let my students go too." The squad captain, a level 25 brute, licked his lips, grinning, "Damn, whoever tied you up did a good job." Teacher Lo spat, "How dare you cause trouble inside the academy right in the safe zone." He grabbed her chin roughly, voice gravelly, "That's not something you need to think about, you should worry about how to please me if you want the right to live." "Let go," she yelled, jerking her head away. "Feisty, aren't you?" He chuckled, clearly amused. "Look at that safe zone, girls really are different, well-fed, smooth skin, fiery temper. I like that." A mercenary behind him laughed crudely, "Boss, I was the one who tied her up. When you're done, save some leftovers for us, yeah." The captain burst out laughing, patting his shoulder, "You've got a sense of humor, you're next." "Thanks, boss." The soldier grinned, their filthy laughter echoed through the hall. In the corner, La Fong clenched his fists, seething, "Cowards. All of them. If we fought back together, at least Teacher Lo might have had a chance to escape and call for help." He suddenly charged forward, shouting, "Let her go, you scum." His punch landed squarely on the captain's face, but a brutal counterstrike sent him crashing down, clutching his stomach in pain. The captain sneered, "Interesting, a level 5 brat trying to play hero." He leaned down, glaring at La Fong trembling on the ground. "I get it now. You've got a thing for this woman, huh? Can't blame you, she's prime quality, any man would want her." He tossed a dagger next to La Fong, his voice cold, "You've got the makings of a real villain, pick it up." Grabbing La Feng's collar, he pointed at the terrified students, "That's how the world works now, don't let the peace of the safe zone blind you, these useless brats don't deserve to live, kill them, and you can live and join the Black Tiger Mercenary Corps." The students screamed in terror, "What? No, Brother Fong, please don't kill us." He cut the ropes and placed the dagger into La Feng's hand. La Fong lowered his head, his face shadowed, "Yeah. I really am a bad person." The others cried out in panic, "Don't do it, Brother Fong. Please don't." Teacher Lo sobbed, "La Fong. Don't do this." He gripped the dagger tightly, shouting, "But I can still tell the difference between reality and a dungeon." La Fong sprang forward, roaring, "Black Tiger scum. I don't need your damn core. Die, you filth." The captain blocked the blow, growling, "I thought you had potential. Guess you're just another fool." He raised his blade high, snarling, "So you want to play hero? Here's your ending." The blade came down. In that instant, La Fong closed his eyes, thinking bitterly, "Damn it. I finally try to do something good, and this is how it ends, what a shitty world." But instead of pain, he heard the clang of metal and a wet cough. The captain staggered, blood spilling from his mouth. A calm voice came from behind him, "Looks like you're not as rotten as I thought." The mercenaries panicked, "Boss. What's wrong?" La Fong opened his eyes to see the man collapse at his feet, exclaiming, "What? What the hell just happened?" A dark red Fong mark burned on the man's back. The system displayed, "Crimson Parasite Fong, dealt lethal damage, status effects, poisoned, bleeding, weakened, uses remaining, 2." Yi Hao's figure slowly materialized from the air, smiling faintly, "You've done plenty of bad things, but when it came down to it, you still acted like a man." The system echoed, "Stealth skill activated, grants invisibility for 30 seconds, cooldown, 1 hour, can be sensed by higher level beings."